One of the issues that entrepreneurs at an early stage often have to deal with, and you mentioned flexible persistence, is a point in time where the prospects of their startup does not look so good, and the need to pivot. I was just wondering if you could share, maybe you've never had that experience, but I wonder if you could share with your experience at PayPal and LinkedIn what that moment felt like, and what the hindsight was.
Well, so every startup has, well, yeah, although almost every startup has what I call a valley of the shadow moment, which is there's some moment by which the founders and the early team are sitting around looking at each other going, why did we think this was a good idea? Right? And so the PayPal moment of that was August 2000, where the company spent $12 million in 1 month. We didn't have a dime of revenue, and the burn rate was accelerating. So we could tell you the hour at which we would run out of the $100 million that we'd raised a couple months earlier. And we're like, okay, well, that was the definite valley of the shadow moment. We basically decided that we had a chance to do one thing that would fix the course of the business. Peter, Max, Luke and I did an offsite where we talked about it. We came up with, said, look, we have to do master merchant business because we have to have, the real exponentiating cost line was credit cards, free credit card processing, so we have to have a revenue model that matches that. We got to try it. A lot of people thought we were going to die because people had tried to do master merchant on eBay before and it hadn't worked. And so we generated every idea to make it work, and we tried it. And that's what we ended up being successful rather than a smoke cloud. And then at LinkedIn, it actually started from a fairly early day, because one of the things that was interesting is as I recommended to people that you go out to your network and you get intelligence from them, I was taking the LinkedIn idea around to some of my smartest friends, and all of them were saying, well, not all, 2/3 of them were saying, you're out of your mind. This is a dumb idea, right? And I was like, well, why do you think it's a dumb idea? And they said, well, the whole value is people in a network. So first person in the network, no value. Second person in the network, no value. Third person in the network, no value. Until you get to some size of the network, there's no value for anybody in the network. So how are you going to, this will never go anywhere and it'll never launch? And I said, well, I've got some ideas for how virality and other things may be able to pull us together. And even though a small percentage of people go, ooh, I want to try this, this is interesting, I think I can grow to the right size. If I wasn't right about that, my plan Z was basically to shut the company down or try to sell it and then be done. And that's the reason why we launched as early as we could, and we were focusing on the network growth as a part of it, as a way of making it happen. And the months between, we launched May 5th, 2003, and then to December was all pretty white-knuckled, because until we actually got the growth and network going the right way, we basically knew the alternative was a fairly immediate and messy death.